Offset.
Alright, there you go. Here's your little. Okay,
Hold on.
we are on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WSJP Fantasy Football Podcast. We are going to have 4 members today as our illustrious co-host, Andrew Brousseau, has returned from his cruise. My name is Dominic Schock. I will be hosting with Andrew Brousseau, as mentioned, Dominic Campanero,
As always.
and our returning special guest, AJ Farrington, who's going to have some killer takes. Okay, so who wants to start us off with their first reaction to what happened this
I don't
week?
know, Shock. I think your reaction looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
But I do have something to say
Ooh,
that
you
before
have
that.
Let's see, Cam.
Real quick, I wanted to say something. If you guys want to know who the stars are, I can tell you real quick. For PPR leagues, people with the most points on each team. For quarterback in a PPR league, Josh Allen leads. Running back is Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. Tight end got T.J. Hawkinson. Defense and special teams is Dallas. And for kicker, got Dustin Hopkins from the Browns. So if you guys have any of those players, just to let you know, they are the best in their position right now in PPR leagues. And now we can get some reactions because I wanted to get that there. But yeah, Shock, you look like you're so enthusiastic right now about your
Oh, I'm
your
enthusiastic,
reaction.
all
So
right.
let's see what it is.
We need to have a conversation about a very impressive rookie by the name of Bijan Robinson. He's so back. He's so back. My Bijan fans all around the world, start him. It's happening. He's fully back. He's not getting Mickey
Junior
Mouse.
Gibbs better.
No.
Give him the carries, bro.
You know, week 7 through 9.
Mm.
Week 7 through
Yo,
9,
that's
you know, Bijan, he was stinking it up. He put up 0.3 points one game. But Bijan, he's brought it back. He's getting the carries. Arthur Smith knows that if he doesn't give Bijan carries, he is getting kicked to the curb and fired. So, considering his job is on the line, he's keeping Bijan. 17.6, go on a bye, comes back with 27. As a guy who owns Bijan in 3 separate leagues and started him in all 3 of those leagues, I'm a very happy man. How do we feel about that?
They play the Jets this week.
Jets are
I
main.
like this. I
The
mean,
Jets, yeah, it's
They're
I like
known
their-
for their passing
they-
defense,
yeah,
but their run
yeah,
defense,
so
their run
it's
D gives
awful.
up solid points.
yeah.
so
So you're not wrong on that.
I do like this take.
Yeah, I
and it's
think it's
Bijan.
a take.
He's
Yeah.
gonna get more time.
I mean,
He's just so talented.
I mean, yeah, I hate chalk, but I do like the stick, to be honest. AJ, you wrote an article. Would you like to share your reaction?
So me and Brousseau actually shared the same reaction
Yeah.
about the
Great
Baltimore.
bicycle, like,
Yeah, about the Baltimore Ravens definitely being quite the team that we thought they were going to be, and probably a bit of a better one, honestly. Their defense has been fantastic so far. They shut it down last week, especially looking at that strip sack at the end of the game from Jadeveon Clowney.
Back from the dead.
Really, that was a good. That was definitely a good Chargers offense.
Yeah. Although Mike Williams and Josh Palmer out, I mean, Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen. I mean, being able to shut them down is very impressive work by that Ravens unit.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense was also killer.
Agreed. They also force many takeaways. They're opportunistic. As you hear the announcer saying Madden a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With 4 takeaways.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
they also led the Lions, the Seahawks, and the Browns to 6 points and under in a whole game.
Mhm.
I mean, that defense right now is looking like probably top 3 in the
Yeah.
league. It probably is 49ers, Ravens, Eagles, probably.
Yeah.
I
mean,
say
if I-
defense wins championships.
That is true.
I mean, if I see my team, my player, he's going up against the Ravens defense, my timbers are shivered. I'm shaking in my boots. I would not want to start somebody against this stone cold killer Ravens defense. You know, Brousseau, you also talked about the Ravens. So do you have any extra input to add, or?
I don't know. I thought it was really impressive how they dominated on offensive side without Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can continue to do that, and when he comes back, it's just going to be such a spark plug for the team. But Zay Flowers is really good.
And Isaiah Likely, the replacement. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's a viable
Glacier
player.
was really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, I never picked him off of
Which is surprising because
waiver wire.
earlier in the season, I picked him up in like week 3 off the waiver wire when Andrews was hurt.
Ooh,
And-
didn't go well.
He got 0 points.
Ooh.
Yeah, but like, he was decent. But yeah,
But yeah, his
you got
replace-
Zay Flowers and Odell. Isaiah Likely right now is going to be like the blocker, but he's a pretty good. He's a decent tight end, to be honest. So, let me get my reaction. For the second consecutive year in a row, the AFC South is up for grabs, and the leader is the 5-6 Atlanta Falcons, led by, as you said, Bijan Mustardson himself. Like, the race just reminds me of like when a bride turns around and gets ready to throw the bouquet of flowers to everyone,
Yeah.
and they all battle for it. That's what it is. You got Roger Goodell saying, "All right, this division sucks. Here's a divisional, divisional chance. Here you go." And they're all just going after it, and they're all bad because they're all basically girls, and it's just
The fact that the Panthers still have a chance to host a playoff game at 1-10 is crazy. And I mean, you're thinking about who they're picking right now. You were thinking about who they were picking 3 weeks ago.
it was
Or
supposed to
like
be CJ Stroud. If you guys saw on like
Bring in
social
Teddy
media.
Bridgewater. He's gonna lead him to
No,
5
Teddy
straight
Bridgewater
wins.
is
If the
Teddy
Saints,
two gloves.
If the Saints won last weekend, I would have been like, yeah, it's the Saints division. But now it's like tight.
It's like, okay, now we're again it's just up for grabs. Anyone can win it, to be honest. And
Both the South divisions are always bad. They
You're
always
right,
let you down.
you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe the AFC South. I mean, sometimes the Jags or Titans are good. That's really it in recent
Colts
memory.
and Texans, though, in past years. Just.
Yeah. You know, people forget how good those 2010s Texans were. Anyways, we've gone through our reactions. We're gonna have to drop the second reaction because we have 2 new segments today. We would like to thank
2 of them.
we'd like to thank our illustrious new co-host AJ Farrington for implementing what has been a large part of this show into a new segment known as Fraud Watch. We're all gonna pick one fraudulent-looking team or player, and we're gonna say why they're on Fraud Watch. We're gonna have some hard-hitting reasons. You know, AJ, since you are the founder of this segment, let's hear it.
All right, so for my fraud watch, I decided to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, if we look at the Pittsburgh Steelers going into this year, you saw they did have a lot of hype, you know, especially I do have some family out there. They were buzzing about the Steelers this, the Steelers that. And I don't think they're a very impressive football team when you look at it. I'm going to put them on the fraud watch for a few reasons. If you look at some of their, you know, they have a pretty good record when you look at it at first, playing in a solid division. But if we look at some of their wins, we see a close win against the Browns early on and against the Raiders. They lost to the Texans. They got killed by the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
They beat teams like the Rams,
Wow.
Titans, Packers.
Beating up on some mid-teams.
They're playing
I'd
some
say.
mid-teams.
Yeah.
They're playing some other okay teams, but
They-
I don't see them.
They beat the Bengals last week, 16-10.
They did.
Yeah,
With-
but
with
Jake
the
Browning.
Yeah, Jake Browning.
That's
And then
true.
the week before, somehow lost to the Browns with their backups.
Agreed. They do have the Cardinals, which is an easy game. The Pats. They have a very, very easy schedule
Yeah.
when you look at it.
Mhm.
Except for Seahawks and Ravens.
Except for
lost.
the Seahawks and the Ravens are going to be 2 games that they will most likely not win. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will probably sneak a wild card spot, but I like to look forward, and I think the Steelers are going to get absolutely destroyed in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, their
which
record
is not-
way better.
Which is not a good thing for a football team because they sit in that average kind of standing spot where you're not getting a great top pick, but you're not going to do anything moving forward.
Yeah. Matt Canada, he was only half of the problem. Kenny Pickett looks like a
Yeah, he's
linebacker
awful.
at quarterback. I'm tired of him. If he can't fake slide, he's nothing. Send him back to college, in my opinion.
Not good.
Pitt
They're
could use him.
losing to the Cardinals this weekend.
You think so?
I honestly think it could happen.
Uh,
This Cardinals
it's-
team is solid.
I don't
by
think
the way.
that's a crazy take.
It's not a crazy take.
All right, count.
Return of the short king.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen this so many times, and I'm sure everyone has from President Joe Biden. Minnesota. They can't. I just can't. You got who did you have? Josh Dobbs, who was getting like blessed as a pastronaut. He turned into the $8 astronaut. Like he's not. Like this whole team is going to shambles. Jordan Addison is trying to revive them, but they can't. Kirk Cousins is flexing off all his chains, but
Big
he's
Kirk,
injured.
though.
He's dead. There's no such thing as a playoffs in the
Good Kirk.
future for the Vikings. Their defense has more holes than Swiss cheese in it. Like it's just this team is crumbling as we speak. They've been on for a once since Josh Dobbs has been on the team. To be honest.
I think this is a bit overreactionary in
No.
my
Threw 4
opinion.
picks on Monday.
Everyone throws a
No.
bit of picks. You know, Peyton Manning, he had a negative touchdown to interception ratio one year. Peyton Manning's still Peyton Manning. Josh Dobbs,
still Josh
basically
Dobbs.
Peyton
It's
Manning.
not the
In my
astronaut.
opinion.
He's
Josh Dobbs,
literally the astronaut.
He's been having a solid starting caliber season this year. I don't think we should throw that all away because of one Nathan Peterman-like game. They played the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos also have a solid defense, to be
Solid.
fair. But, I mean, you shouldn't be throwing 4 picks against any defense.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's the wrong.
But-
It's not like they're the 0-1 Ravens or something.
It's true.
Ooh,
All right.
Drewski.
So my fraud watch team is the Lions. They
Staying in the
fucking suck.
NFC North?
They are so bad. That Packers
Thanksgiving?
game just exposed them.
Yeah.
I mean, their offense is bad when they play a good defense, and Jared Goff got pressured like every drive, and that's why they scored 20 points in the first quarter. Because, and I mean, the defense did a good job because technically they only allowed like 9 points all game.
Yeah.
And AJ, what would you like to say?
Not to sound like a Cowboys fan after a loss or anything, but I think the Packers got kind of lucky. Those receivers really definitely shined through in that game. I do like the pick with the Lions being on fraud watch because I think it's like the Steelers. Their record was a little higher than they actually are. But I also do want to point out that there were some crazy catches made by those Green Bay receivers who were kind of no ones. No offense, of course, to Christian
Yeah,
Watson.
yeah.
Well, he's
Christian
good.
Watson's good.
I mean,
Yeah.
but no, like just secondary. You're right. Line secondary. It's CJ Gardner Johnson,
It's good.
and that's about it. But yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if I had compared the Lions to a team, I mean, it's kind of weird. If you think of the Phillies in baseball, Philadelphia Phillies in 2022, they were like a sneaky team. They just had they were just having fun. It feels like this is what the Lions team wants to do, and they just want to go to the playoffs and have fun and just like end their
There's no dedication!
their drought. And
There's
I mean,
no
Dan
passion.
Campbell's like
There is
Totally.
no passion.
help him with
There
that.
is no
And, all right,
mindset.
Gardner Johnson's actually not as good as he was last year.
Yeah.
No,
He
he's
talks
not.
too
He's not.
much,
I don't think he's as good as last
He's
year.
Yeah.
probably a huge
He had
locker
crazy
room
years.
cancer.
Last year
as
he had like
well.
7 picks and only played like
Yeah.
8 games.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
anyway,
I feel like
Shaw,
11.
you also wrote a
Yeah.
little newspaper article there too.
Yeah, this is a team I've been noticing. I think they're slipping, and it's the Seahawks. Look, I would argue that not a single person that is currently healthy on that Seahawks roster is a fantasy start. Geno, he's a low-end QB2. DK Metcalf, he's doing his best job to underperform. He's performing like a low-end flex. It's ridiculous. Tyler Lockett, after years of being a very consistent, 1,000-yard receiver, wide receiver 2 in fantasy, he's finally falling off. I really would not want to start him. Kenneth Walker, the only viable guy on that team, he's hurt. And then Zach Charbonnet, he has talent, but he's playing back-to-back killer defenses in San Francisco and Dallas. I mean, unless you're like CMC, you're not really startable against that defense. And then their defense isn't really startable. Kickers are kickers, I mean. And then Jackson Smith and Jiba, he's not getting enough targets to be viable. I mean, he's the third wideout. Maybe when Lockett finally disappears in a year or two, then he'll be solid. But, you know. AJ, what do you have to say?
I definitely agree with that pick. And if you look at the Seahawks schedule coming up, they go Cowboys, Niners, Eagles right away. It's 3 very strong defenses. That's probably 3 losses right there. Titans a little bit of a break. Steelers, well, I do think they're on. It's the fraud fight right now.
Tank
December
ball, as they
30th.
call it.
Mark it on your calendar. December 31st is the fraud fight. It's the Seahawks versus the Steelers. And then Cardinals, who could, I guess, be surprising. Cardinals beat the Cowboys, so you never know. But if you look at the Seahawks, there's 3 probably definitely losses, and only maybe 1 or 2 guaranteed games moving forward.
All right. Well, I think it's time for our next segment. We're gonna hit our starts now.
What about camp hosting?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm better than Chalk at fantasy. And it's just
Fantasy
official.
maybe hosting.
No, I'm better at fantasy.
7-6 next year. Dude, I am going.
That's
to climb
impossible.
on
Guess
you
what?
so
That's
hard.
impossible. That's impossible.
You're gonna go. 7-8. I don't know.
So anyway, I'm going my start, and I'm picking Brian Robinson Jr. I don't know why. I feel like he's gonna tear through the Dolphins defense. Shock right now is like confused because Brian Robinson Jr. is gonna have a comeback like year right now. Like I feel like Robinson could find the hole 9 times out of 10. The Dolphins had a tough game against the Jets last week. They had a ton of injuries. I mean, Shulk right now is still he's making expressions which I don't
I'm
like.
flabbergasted, Cam.
Well, I'm right, okay? It's just I just think Robinson Jr. Yeah, everyone's making reactions behind her. If you wanted to know, everyone's down my pick.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I'm always rolling every single week, but I feel like Brian Robinson Jr. might actually have a good week for once, and that's what I want. Shulk, we want to counter.
Cabanero, I think you should have scrolled down a bit to my sit section, because Brian Robinson was my number 2 sit, and I'm very passionate about this. He is on the road against the Dolphins. They're a very good defense for fantasy against running backs. They allow the 6 least points. Not a good matchup. And the Commanders, they're going to be down this whole game. They're not going to be running it. They're not going to be pounding the rock. They're going to be slinging it with Sam Howell and
Most
Brian.
passing yards in the league, by the way.
Most passing yards in the league,
Yeah.
by the way.
I think
But-
Campanero's take was a
I think it was an L, in my
bit
opinion.
of a hot take alert.
Yeah, hot take alert.
Doesn't
They're
matter.
not. He's
When
not
I'm
going to
right-
get that many carries, and even when he does, it's a good defense.
If I'm right,
He's
then-
been on my sit the last 2 weeks.
No, if I'm wrong, I will not. I'll tell you my picks for I don't know.
Yeah.
Excuses.
AJ, why don't you tell us your start?
My first start is the Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's a very quiet player. He's not the. Not only is he the best YouTuber alive, but also receivers are he can be a bit of a prima donna sometimes. I love AJ Brown. He just doesn't shut up about when he doesn't get a ton of targets. Receivers, they definitely can play their little bit of a selfish role from time to time. They definitely complain when they don't get the ball, which I do in my sports as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
Two-hand touch football.
no, well that too. Turkey Bowl legend right here.
Yeah.
But I think Michael Pittman is a quiet player. He's a very consistent one at that as well. Colts definitely leave something to be desired in terms of overall offensive output, but I definitely think it's a pretty good opportunity for him going against a very, very poor, weak,
Embarrassing.
awful Tennessee defense.
Kevin Byardless.
Kevin Byardless Tennessee defense. And I think he has a very high boom potential against this team.
Yeah. Good take, to be honest. And I mean, I think it's time to roll into my start, who is another wide receiver going against a bad Tampa defense. The last time I predicted this, man, he got 30 points. And he goes by the name of Adam Thielen.
No, Bryce Young is awful.
That
Bryce
is
Young
worse.
is awful. This
Up,
team
up,
sucks.
up.
Oh my, give them 2 seconds.
Quiet down, kids. The adults are
Oh
talking.
my God.
Adam Thielen, he's against a bad Tampa pass defense. He's going to bounce back after that underperformance last week. The Panthers, they have a bad defense. The Bucs, they have a good offense, relatively. They're going to get a bit of a... They're going to score, and then Carolina, they're going to have to throw to keep up with that. Who else is Bryce Young going to throw to? Jonathan Mingo? No. He's going to throw it to Adam Thielen. And Adam Thielen, he's going to catch a touchdown, he's going to get 80 yards, and he's going to be a killer wide receiver number 2. Any disagreements?
Yes. This
Well, it's
team
a
is
hot take
awful.
alert.
This team is awful, bro. We won't get anywhere.
Hot
close.
take alert.
He's getting 10 at most.
Sure,
This
pal.
team is so bad. Bryce Young
It's-
can't
You
buy
told
a second.
yourself that last
Did you
time.
did you guys see that clip on
Bryce
Twitter
Young.
anywhere where he throws it to a receiver and he jumps out of bounds just to catch the ball?
Oh, yeah, that was Mingo, right?
It doesn't matter.
like
Adam
4
Thielen's
yards
gonna
from
do
the
the same
sideline.
thing because he sucks.
Oh
I
my
see
God.
our TV, our monitor right now is going crazy with how loud I'm speaking, but I don't care. Adam Thielen's overrated, okay?
Who's rating Adam Thielen?
You are. Say
You-
start.
You clown on Adam Thielen, and then you're like, wow, Dominic, you got 25. How could I have seen this coming?
Please go. Please go. Thanks.
Now we're just gonna issue a official apology for all the 2 people listening into this podcast for your ears, health, and safety. We do not possess the
Action movie lover.
we do not possess the money to cover.
Make sure your Raycon earbuds are in.
We do not possess the money to cover any sort of financial needs.
Okay, Briseau, tell us
My first start of this week is Javonte Williams against the Houston Texans. He's my guy.
Again?
What do you mean again? This is my
How
guy.
many times have
He's
you
so
done-
consistent,
Keep
bro.
doing that and I'll keep on looking.
So
Doing a lame ass podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. It's killer, man.
Yeah, how many you got viewers? You got like 4 or 5? Besides your parents, who else listens to it?
You're rounding up, man. You're rounding up.
Yeah,
5.
My parents won't listen to it.
Yeah, we bribe
What's
people.
the topic today?
Fantasy
Oh,
football.
fantasy football. It's killer.
Well, we got the commissioner there.
Yeah, everyone make noises. Everyone boo me like Robert
Boo.
Kraft.
Overrated
Wait, go
fraud.
live.
We're live right now.
We're on right now.
Oh, alright. Sure
So-
you are.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, let's go. Let's go.
I'm not fortunate commissioner. I'm literally the best in the league. AJ,
Dude, you
Alright.
had an incredible. I'm tired of this. You're gonna go 6-8 next year.
All right, I think Houston's going to stop the pass against Denver, and this is going to lead to more carries for Javonte Williams, my GOAT, the most consistent running back in the league. And yeah, you should start him.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to move into our second start, or do we want to go straight to sits?
I think we have the time.
We have the time. Okay, Campanella, what do you think?
well, whatever I say is always right because I'm like the best in the world.
You're trash at
Oh
Fortnite.
my gosh, dude, you're
I'm the best
you're
foreman at
such
the table.
fraud.
Chris Godwin against the Adam Thielen-led Panthers.
Wow.
He's the better receiver than Adam Thielen. He's going to put up more points than Adam Thielen. The Panthers suck. I mean, Mike Evans is going to get 15,000+ receiving yards, but doesn't matter. Chris Godwin, he went to Penn State. Go Penn State!
They
We
suck.
love
They
Penn
get
State.
10 every year.
Shut
Nobody
up!
likes Tennessee.
Auburn lost to
No one-
Alabama! They lost to Alabama!
Alabama's bad. They're Alabama.
Yeah, they beat you! In a 40-second drive. Or no,
Here's a list.
32!
Here's a list of all the times Penn State's won a big game. What you'll
Fourth
notice
and
is that the list doesn't
32.
exist.
Fourth and 32! Fourth and 32, though. You're
And it was
killing
still-
this line.
And it was still closer than you against Michigan and OSU.
That's fair.
We lost by 8.
And we lost by
We
3.
would have won if we didn't have these. No, I'm done.
All right.
I'm leaving this at now. Bye,
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Penn State
Finally.
has not been good at
James
No.
Franklin sucks. AJ, continue.
Most mid college football team out there. Just
Yeah.
disappointing. It's the cycle every year.
Ohio.
It's like watching an Eagles game, you know?
Iowa State better.
It's like watching an Eagles game. It's the same thing on repeat every single year. Or at least every single week, I guess you could say. So for my second stardom, I picked Zach Moss. Just,
Good take. Good take.
you know, Zach Moss spawns in from time to time, you know? But
Yeah.
what can I say? He's Zach Moss. Passing game, he's going against the Titans as well, just like my first pick. You know, I'm kind of down on the Titans, which to be fair, they're terrible. They're just a terrible football organization. But passing game will definitely be open, so that will probably. You got to think they'll open up the run as well, and as long as you don't run into the one talented player on that Titans team, Jeffrey Simmons,
Yeah.
you're gonna be fine. You know, he's an edge rusher. Just don't run his way, and then you'll be perfectly fine.
Agreed. I mean, speaking of running backs who are finally going to bounce back, Moss is going to bounce back to that pre-Jonathan Taylor production in the beginning of the year.
Exactly.
And we are going to witness a bounce back from one Tony Pollard. He's finally going to get himself off fraud watch. He's at home against the Seahawks. They're streaking downwards. And he's at home. Bad run defense. Trust in Tony. It's what I've been saying. I might even get it tattooed on my bicep if I'm telling you the truth. I trust in Tony Pollard. How
You
we
have
feel
a
about that?
bicep to like get tattoos on it. You know?
Oh, please. It's when you bench warm in rugby.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Played every like.
You literally started.
No.
He's a full-time starter. I
Drew,
never got something
Why
at
don't you
once.
tell us about your last start?
All right, Garrett Wilson has been very solid, and lots of people haven't been too optimistic in him. But this week, I think this is going to be the week. He's always been unreliable, but this is the one. He's going against a really bad Falcons defense, who's allowed 10 touchdowns in the last 7 games to a wide receiver. And I just think he's going to have a day. I think he's easily getting 20.
Like that.
Thank you.
Even though he has no one throwing him the ball,
Tim
he
Boyle.
can still find a way.
Yeah.
He had a negative TD to interception ratio.
I don't know why they're
in
benching
FCS
Zach
college.
Wilson.
Hey, so did Peyton Manning one season.
Not an FCS with like some bum school, but
Same
anyways,
thing.
we have another new segment. This time innovated by the man, the myth, the legend, Dominic Campanaro, and we are going to ask each other what team will score the most fantasy points total heading into the final weeks of this season and into the playoffs. AJ, why don't you start? AJ is scared and he does not want to start. So Campanaro, since you made this segment, I think you should introduce it.
Wait,
let
what
the people know.
Campanero, what are you doing?
Anyways, all right. So it seems we have gone over our. We seem to have skipped over our sits for the week.
Yes.
So, shall we start?
AJ, we're coming back to the 6th.
No one has anything for the other thing.
Alright guys, I'm back now. I was counting how many times Dom Schalk has mentioned Adam Thielen's name. And in one doc, I saw his name mentioned 7 times. So at that rate, I'm just going to say...
Washed.
See, I created this thing because I'm just the best at this, like always, and everything. I am, like, the best of the best. Yeah, everyone can hate me. I don't really care. But yeah.
Pity you when you go 5 and
Buddy
9 next.
Buddy thinks he's a Sigma.
Bro's a pick. Okay.
Yeah, anyway. Let me talk! Let me talk!
You literally pushed the mic away from you because you didn't want to talk.
Yeah, because I was counting how many times you wouldn't shut up about Adam Thielen!
Stop screaming into the mic and
Duval County!
Dude, look
Go Jags!
Dude.
Jags are gonna win.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson is daddy. You guys already know it. I'm gonna kick in the shin right now and it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
I'm going with
It's Duval County.
for my team. I'm going with the Rams. You know, they got Cup, Nakua, Tutu, and they're going against Washington, New Orleans, and the New York Jets in the last 3 weeks. This team is going to be very good in fantasy playoffs.
Don't forget about Kyron Williams, too.
Yeah, especially, yeah. So those 4 right there, everybody has one of those 4. But
For me, I think I have to rock with, quite frankly, what's looking like the best team in football. The 49ers, they're finally healthy. Purdy, CMC, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, their defense, even their kicker. They're all starts. They're a star-studded team, and quite frankly, if you just put out the 49ers offense weekly, you'd probably do well. It's just insane. And they have pretty solid matchups.
The team I picked was the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh.
I hate the Cowboys.
But you have to be honest, you know.
I hate the Cowboys. I really do. I think that they're a team who's good at choking games. I think they're very good at obviously at beating bad teams, destroying bad teams actually, and then they're very good at at disappointing. They're also very good at disappointing their fans in big games, and the Cowboys have some big games. Can you stop giving Harold? The Cowboys definitely have some big games coming up, being the Eagles, Bills, Dolphins. They also have the Lions and the Cowboys, and they have the Seahawks, of course. I think the Cowboys are going to light up the Seahawks, and they're going to light up the Commanders.
Yeah, I 100% see that.
I think they even have a chance to light up the Bills as well.
The Bills, they just did allow 37 to the Eagles. Although, obviously, there was overtime.
It was a slumped Eagles offense, though, in the first half at least.
Yeah,
they
if
got
the Cowboys
killed.
come out firing, they could still put up 40.
And the Cowboys are definitely postseason frauds, but if we're talking fantasy football, the Cowboys are very good at scoring a lot of points in kind of meaningless games.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the season. There's going to be teams that are, let's say, what if the Lions are clearing away first? They're going to want to rest their players, right?
Yeah.
The Cowboys will go out with all their starters anyways because they'll be behind the Eagles.
Yeah.
And they'll score a bunch of points,
Okay. Now, with that new segment out of the way, we are going to return back to our starts and sits. So, ladies and gentlemen, what were your sits for the week? Campanero, why don't you go?
Alright, my sit for the week. I'll be quiet now. I'm sorry that I had to scream about Adam Thielen. So one of my sets, I will say David Montgomery. I got Jahmyr Gibbs. I want to know why he doesn't get more starts and more snaps than David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is good, okay? I will admit, Jahmyr Gibbs is good. Right now, I know I'm talking now, so I'll back up a bit. Jahmyr Gibbs is good. I swear he is. David Montgomery's overrated. The Lions team's on fraud watch. Please don't start David Montgomery and help your brother out because I want to shave someone's head.
are aware that David Montgomery not being started in fantasy doesn't make him any worse of like an actual football player, right?
Well, I'm just saying that because I can't. I can see that.
I've started David Montgomery.
Yeah, and he's done good things for AJ.
Last 3 starts, 17.6, 17.8, and 15.
He's a good running back in fantasy.
Has he helped you win?
Yeah, I won the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Did I brush you?
Okay, I lost to you, but that doesn't count. It doesn't count. CJ Stroud.
Generational lucky draft,
Yeah.
Your Honor. Okay.
Dominic Campanaro sold his soul to someone.
Okay.
For fantasy football luck.
Yeah, we've already gone over my first sit, and that was Brian Robinson. So my second one, that's going to be Drake London. He's on the road, vicious Jets pass defense.
Like that word.
And, thank you. And then also, Sauce Gardner. Drake London, he's the number 1 wideout on that team. He's going to have sauce on him. Majority of the game, he's going to get ISO'd.
Lost in the sauce.
Exactly. He's going to get lost in the sauce. And I don't really see him doing all that much.
For my first sit, I have Devonta Smith against the 49ers defense. We all know the 49ers defense is it is the best one in the
I'd say
NFL.
so.
I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Doesn't matter. You have to face facts. I said the Cowboys were going to score points. I'm going to say Devonta Smith isn't, and then you add on top A.J. Brown's whining. So,
Yeah. When A.J. Brown whines, he gets the ball a lot next week, you know?
He does.
hmm And that means targets being siphoned away from people like
That
Devonta.
definitely does.
Very unfortunate.
And I'm sorry, but we
Yeah.
have to say a solemn goodbye to Andrew Purcell.
Hey guys.
We gotta say goodbye to him
okay.
too. And it looks like AJ is going too. So
Yeah. It's gonna be a Dom and Dom
are
show.
gonna end. I'm gonna be there too. I'll get closer.
Oh, thank you,
Hey, maybe if
Campanaro.
you combine the two of them, they might have a winning record.
Yeah, become my
Please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, well,
Oh.
we're gonna finish this on our own. 'Cause
Oh,
we
yeah.
can.
Campanaro,
I
we're
have to
troopers.
leave for work study,
These
but
kids,
anyway,
they're quitting out. We can't let that slide. Campanaro.
we have to end the podcast once and for all. So
Yeah.
I think
Who's your second step for the week, Cam?
might as well say we'll go James Conner against the Steelers. TJ
Understandable.
Watt is a force, an unstoppable force against any team he faces.
Probably defensive player of the year.
How are the Cards still alive? Like they won't. Like I don't get to put their whole
The
thing.
Cards aren't that bad of a team, dude.
But
They just had Connor.
because Kyle Murray
They just had
is
Connor and
so
Kyler
consistently
out.
bad. Like you
Dude,
just gotta
Kyler
do
is nice
something.
with it. I love.
He's nice when he wants to be nice.
Unless it's like a double XP weekend on Call of Duty, Kyler Murray is typically
I
pretty
just,
good.
I just can't. I don't like Kyle Murray that much. He's a fraud, as always.
I think
but
you're letting your feelings get in the way of fantasy, Campanaro.
I don't care. Steelers
Oh.
defense is going to do whatever they can to shut down the Cards. And, like, you might as well have Kyle Murray scramble with how badly James Conner's going to be at this game.
Yeah. I mean, Campanaro, since we've already done your new segment, let's move on to the best lineup for the week, the most optimal players. Who are we feeling right now for your quarterback slot?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is driving this defense crazy.
He's going to absolutely stun on these Packers. Listen, Chris Collinsworth, I don't really like the man, and I even like him even more how he doesn't shut up about Patrick Mahomes. Oh,
I don't blame him.
CJ Stroud makes a diving play. Know what that reminds me of?
Patrick
Mahomes.
Oh yeah.
Like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop being low on him. Just calm down, and everything will be better. Mahomes will still do well, though. As much as I hate the Chiefs, Mahomes is going to absolutely just tear through this Packers defense. Shulk, who do you think? What do you think about this year? What do you think about your quarterback?
I mean, I'm gonna go with a fellow AFC West
And this is
quarterback,
who I would have picked too, but I
Yeah.
think it's getting a bit too close.
Justin
but
Herbert against
Thor
these Pats.
is him.
Look, man, I'm a Patriots fan, and it pains me every time I have to watch their football because we decided to tank Mac Jones, and we have no quarterback, and everything is horrible. And our defense now is also pretty bad. And I mean, Herbert, look, he's Phillip Rivers, but even better. Even though he's going to get wasted by Los Angeles for his whole career, I mean, he is still a talented player, and he is a fantasy stud. Don't test him, man. He's just good. He's going to put up big numbers against the Patriots. And, I mean, that's all you can say. He's just plain impressive. I mean, Campanaro, how do you feel?
I mean, Herbert is one of the best players at his position.
Yeah.
The
I'd say he's top
Chargers-
5.
I mean, the Chargers are like a pretty okay team, to be honest, but no, Herbert is a pretty good team. Herbert's on a pretty bad. Okay. Sorry for the altercations. The birthday boy just tickled me and is ruining my relationship.
Focus on the
I'm
podcast.
sorry. Herbert's go. Okay, let me get to my running back. Jalen Warren versus the Cardinals. I don't know any standout player on this Cardinals defense since Chandler Jones is gone.
Yeah.
But this Cardinals line has lots of holes in it, just like Swiss cheese, and I have a feeling we might see a multi-touchdown game by the Steelers lead back right now.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren for the win!
Yeah. You know, I'm receiving reports that from all around the globe, they're coming in, they're calling, Dominic, we're so back. It's every Bijan owner across the globe, and they're saying, Dominic, we've never been more back. Bijan Robinson, he's gonna cook the New York Jets. They're scared. They're running. They're terrified. They're quivering. They are shaking in their boots. They're tremoring.
They're shivering their timbers! Oh my god!
Look, Taylor Heineke, he's not passing on Sauce Gardner. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to pound the rock. He's going to pass that pigskin.
Pound that rock! Pound that rock!
He's going to pass the pigskin.
Bijan Masterson for the win!
Oh, yeah. Bijan, he's a killer. I love to see it. And he is finally getting his touches. And if Arthur Smith wants to keep his job, they're going to feed Bijan. And they're going to go into New York, or more accurately, East Rutherford, New Jersey, and they are going to take the Jets down to keep their lead on the division.
You're right.
Exactly. Camp, who's your wideout?
And Decatur with your quarterback, Keenan Allen, the man, the myth, the legend. No one on this past secondary can touch him. Like, he is unbelievable. I versed him in fantasy, would have put out 50 points. And I was versing Devon Kant too, and I lost by like 190 points with my cousin. And I was in tears. But Keenan Allen is going to blow through this Patriots team. I don't care what you say. Shake him in fantasy. Give away your number one quarterback. I don't care. Keenan Allen is going to absolutely destroy this Patriots team. It's nothing's gonna come close to it.
Agreed. And I mean, here's the guy. I mean, he's so good he's been in MVP contention. Tyreek Hill's going to be the best wideout this week.
My pick.
God! Awful Commanders pass defense.
You're right.
And they're going to sling it, man.
They're going to pound the rock.
This is going to be like the type of Tyreek performance we were seeing like 5-6 weeks ago, where he was putting up like 180 and 2 touchdowns. I think it's going to be a pure, old-fashioned demolition of the Washington Commanders. I mean, I might cry. Tears of joy or tears of fear. I don't know which one.
You might.
I may. Campanero, I'm guessing you agree?
I totally agree. Tyreek Hill, my boy, picked them like right away. First pick of my draft.
Yeah.
And I don't regret one decision I've made in my life.
Yeah.
And, alright, I think it's time to get on to tight ends. Because they both have some pretty good tight ends, but we'll see. I wonder how they're going to do because they both have some interesting matchups. I'm going with George Kittle. Like, here's one thing. This Eagles secondary is not the best spin in, like, I don't know how many years, but I don't know if you could tell. This, like, when we were versus the Bills, they were so worried about Josh Allen scrambling that they forgot that they had to play defense in their secondary. There was a lot of times where there were open targets, and Josh Allen could just, like, get it in there because they weren't playing, like, tight. Like, I'll take Bradbury, for example. He had a pick. But until that point, he was letting receivers get mushrooms as a king. I feel like they're just not playing aggressive. And, like, let's take, for example, the Bills' defense that game. They did lose. They give up 37 points. Besides, they did feel like they played a better defensive game in the first half, too. The only exception was they were playing a bit more aggressive than the Eagles. And, like, you could tell, like, all the Eagles O-linemen on the QB sneak when that Cam Jurgens, like, got absolutely like, just trucked by
100%.
Yeah, but like besides that, it's just basically you just gotta like understand like this Eagles secondary, it's got holes, and not only is like the run game just okay, like the secondary is just gonna be so bad. And anyway, Shulk, what do you?
Yeah, I mean I'm gonna have to go with a fellow K tight end, and it's Travis Kelce. Don't overthink it.
I mean, we haven't seen him play good in like it's been since we won't mention her name since this famous artist.
I trust in Taylor.
1 million views.
Maybe he'll drop 22 for her. You never know. I mean, Kelce,
he's
he's a top 3 tight end of all time, and he's still in his prime. and he's getting thrown to by Patrick Mahomes. This pick is just based off Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. Don't overthink it.
And he should have a good game. He should be ready this week.
I mean, if he's been bad for the last couple games, you could argue that just means it's perfect for a bounce back. Because Travis isn't going to stay bad. He has to bounce back eventually, and I think it'll be this week. Okay, moving on to the defense. I mean, Campanaro, you mentioned this at the beginning, but the Dallas defense, they've been the best defense so far, the highest scoring.
Well, in fantasy terms, they are usually the best. Maybe not in the games when they versed the 49ers and gave up 40 points, but you're right, they are the best defense. And, PPR leagues and probably all fantasy leagues too.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing against the Seahawks. I'm sorry, Gino. I love you, man. I love the comeback story. You might get whooped on Thursday, to tell you the truth.
I think there is a chance.
I feel like Gino's been floundering a bit, and Dallas, they're going to seize that opportunity. I think they'll pick him off once or twice. Maybe they'll force a fumble out of Charbonnet or one of the wideouts. It's just, maybe Deron Bland gets another pick six.
I know.
I mean,
he's been on
seems unlikely, but it could happen.
Of the year. Who knows?
I mean, if you set the record for pick sixes, I'd put you on. I'd make you the odds on front runner. I feel like it's him, Garrett, or Watt. And then Campanaro, I disagree with your defense take, but let's hear it.
Yeah, I know. I just think that it's just the Buccaneers defense this week. I feel like they gotta have a bounce back game soon. They could have beat the Colts, so you lost by 7, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like this is the game they can shine in. They should understand that this division. It's just whoever has the best last 5 weeks. Whoever plays the last 5 weeks good, they're gonna win the whole South. I mean, because there's not. Let's be honest. If there's any team that's gonna make a long run and win the South, maybe the Saints, but probably not because no team here is just really that good. But I'm just feeling the Bucs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Carolina and White House are just dying. Besides Thielen.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Can we just fold the Panthers and bring up whoever wins the XFL next year?
No, they should do. They should put the Panthers in the NFC East, the Cowboys down to the NFC South. There's actually.
Why would you want to get rid of the Cowboys?
Because the Eagles can win the division 9 times out of 10 every single year.
Oh, dude, I want to see the. I love the Cowboys-Eagles rivalry. It's so entertaining.
I think.
No one wants to see.
The best.
No one wants to see the Cowboys beat up on the NFC South all year. That's not fun.
I want to see a Cowboys-Falcons Super Bowl. I'm just kidding, but.
Just bring up the St. Louis Battlehawks or something. Get the team from in St. Louis to San Diego.
No, that's what they should do. Roger Goodell should do this. This is kind of interesting. I know this is not fantasy related. The worst team in the NFL drops Premier League. They drop down to the XFL, and whoever's the champion of the XFL moves up to the NFL. That's how it should go. That would be interesting. But anyway, let's get to our favorite part of this whole little segment, the kickers.
Yeah.
And honestly, Jason Sanders of the Commanders, this game is literally going to come down to a field goal.
Ooh, you're predicting the Commanders Dolphins to be close?
I have a really good feeling it's going to come down to a field goal. Probably a 47-yarder. It just feels like the Dolphins, they just blow out the Jets team. They're going to be tired because they had a lot of injuries that game on Black Friday, but I just have a feeling that Jason Sanders is going to have the chance to just put up 20 plus points. Another huge game saw Brett Maher do it a while ago. I just have a feeling this is what we're going to see happen by Jason Sanders and the Dolphins, and that it would benefit every single Jason Sanders fantasy owner.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nick Folk against the Colts. They allow mad points to kickers because you know what their defense does? It bends. It doesn't break. They're going to stop these Titans with a pretty weak offense. They're going to stop them on the 30-yard line, and then Folk, he's going to drain these 40, 30-yarders, and those add up over time, and I think Folk could have a solid 3 field goals for 120-yard type game, and that's going to get you some solid fantasy points in your kicker spot. I picked them up in a few weeks.
Yes, I do think so as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to be the end of our show. And I do like to say one more thing. If anyone watching, I don't know if you can, if you want to drop a comment,
let us know what we
should do. Any of your picks, we might get back to you and respond. We want to hear your feedback too. maybe if you're a student here at the prep and want to get into a podcast, we'll try to fit you in.
Yeah.
But honestly, we've been enjoying it so much. We think we should do more
WSJP.
with you. Like same thing with Jason Martinez, Mr. Martinez from
Yeah.
with Fox 29, I believe.
Yeah, Fox 29.
That's like his
We should send the
fantastic
video in.
show. Huh?
We should send the video.
I think we
next time
should.
we're
Maybe
recording
into
a
this we
podcast.
can. But I think, yeah, you guys should do that. And, like, yeah, give credit to him. It was awesome with him. But, yes, we do want to hear your feedback. What do you think you should do or anything. But, yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we'll see you
Next
in a
Thursday. Adios, people. Thank you for watching.